Slam Sector contains levels of brain rot that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Oh, is that your click clack for today? Is a Ricola?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's my cough drop.
I already drank it. It's empty. Unlucky. Anyway, while Ryan dies, I'll introduce what's happening today.
I'm back.
You mean to
Can you crush it on your head?
Stone Cold Minecraft Steve this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I can't bleed. If I bleed, I'll die. I'm on blood thinners.
That's true. You're like a water balloon.
We're barely hanging on here at Slam Sector.
We're all dying. Anyway.
In-game.
Today, we're talking about the narrative that has been... How long in the works now? 2 years, maybe? 2 years in the works?
Three.
It's been on my to-do list for 2 years. I want to be clear. This is not representative of 2 years of work.
Yeah, that's fair. We did a lot of like talking about doing it for a while. We're like, we're gonna do this thing, and then we were almost there, and then we went to the grand narrative, and then the grand narrative was like exactly what Ryan's narrative was. So we're like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about that a little bit now.
Yeah.
Since you guys have seen the ugly boys or the cute boys, depending on your taste, and by that I mean the enslavers. Yeah, like the first narrative I wrote didn't have the enslavers in it. It was just revolved around an abominable intelligence that was going to get unearthed and start doing stuff. And then we went to the grand narrative, and that's exactly what they did. And I was
there's
like,
a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why there's an ongoing joke in our group that GW is in our walls. Is there's been multiple things we've been working on in private amongst ourselves and talking about amongst ourselves, and then all of a sudden GW's like, and here's that thing you mentioned last week, and we're like, God, no.
They made Nurgle Gene Stealers. Like,
I was determined this year to make sure we launch it before the grand narrative this year, because if they pull out enslavers at the grand narrative this year, I'm gonna go crazy.
There's a non-zero chance. Have you seen like the character costumes that they showed at that they had at the UK one? You keep talking, no. I'm gonna find those pictures.
But yeah, and like I'll admit that whole thing threw me off a little bit. I also just had a lot of stuff going on, and I procrastinated, and it took longer, for other reasons, personal reasons like that. But here we are. We're here now, and it's happening. And I don't. You want me to just start going into like the backstory for it, or are we?
I got those pictures. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, whip those pictures out. Pull it up on the big screen. Yo!
Yeah, look at that Necron.
These costumes this year are fucking nuts.
That's just
whoa! Look at that Thousand Sun. It is.
That's awesome.
Look at that Thousand Sun. That's great. That's maybe
stepped this shit up.
That is maybe the best Space Marine armor I've seen ever. Like legitimately,
it's so
proportioned. Good. It's proportioned really well.
The Deathwatch guy is still like a little weirdly proportioned.
Yeah, that's the big problem I have with Space Marine armors, because Space Marines are so inhuman in their proportions. Trying to create that generally looks a little off. Like it almost creates a Space Marine uncanny valley. His really works because of the broad chest plate of the Thousand Suns, and also the head plate getting to be big, kind of like helps with the silhouette. It's hard to see his legs. I think
the problem that people run into a lot of times when they're making Space Marine armor is like you make the helmet for your head, and then like if you build the armor around your body, proportionally the head's going to look too big for the body because Space Marines are so wide. And like it's like you either have to build the body like extra large, and then you like can't really move around in it. It's like it's a very tricky thing to get right.
Alternatively, just get fucking ripped like a Space Marine.
True.
you have to steal like someone else's rib cage and add their ribs on the side of your ribs to get that.
I'll just take Marilyn Manson's extra one.
There you go. But no, that's some of the best. That really shows how old we are. The Zoomers aren't going to follow us on that one. That's some of the best Space Marine armor I've ever seen. That's awesome. I really love that.
Yeah.
Have we gotten confirmed who is going to be our persona?
I think so,
Dramatis
but
persona?
I don't remember. Okay. I think so, but I don't remember. Is what I was trying to say. But yeah, we can continue to talk about our thing. You want me to pull up the map?
Yeah, whip that map out.
Let's look at that map.
So, we've never shown this before on stream, have we?
We have not.
Okay.
Nope.
This is still a work in progress, obviously. But this is a map that I put together for the Slam sector, as it were, Sector 514M, as it's officially called. And if you look in the top right of this map, you can see I made it a little bit bigger than the other names so it would stand out. But you can see the system of Scartha, where our current narrative is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
I am like developing lore. I put a few other names in here of like other things I've developed lore for already, planets, which all these planets that are tagged in here, except for Termina, are places where we have played games and kind of like as a group stewed up some lore within an internal narrative that we've been doing. So yeah, we're building that out. I've built a lot of lore for Scartha. It's kind of a manufacturing world that builds primarily lances for starfleets, and our narrative takes place there after a array of like inner system survey beacons has like gone dark, and the Dark Angels got this weird astropathic message with a lot of secret code phrases that only other Dark Angels would know.
We don't do secrets.
That and also references to the Fallen.
The what?
Which the Fallen.
Why do you know that name? Why'd you say that name?
So they were like, we gotta get the fuck over there and shut this down. And so they went in the system, ran into some Grey Knights, and it's all started with a boarding action. I don't know what pictures you have pulled up. If you, yeah, there we go. So there was this the astropathic message came from the ship, the Enduring Vigil, which was a patrol vessel around Scartha because the main fleet had been pulled away to engage some traitor forces attacking from a stronghold called Chokehold. And so the Dark Angels arrived, and Jordan, the way I did this was like Jordan would have a choice of whether to breach at the reactor deck or the hangar bays, and then he would have sort of a branching decisions to make on how to get to the bridge, and depending on where he went would determine who he fought, things he would encounter, and like shortcuts he might be able to take. And so he decided to go into the hangar bays, and oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, oh yeah, you've got my slides.
All slides.
He went into the hangar bays. The word bearers were on the ship because none of our players in the narrative are playing the word bearers. They were originally, so I had them written in, but they're still there narratively, but they're sort of like the guiding hand, bringing together the Plague Marines and the Thousand Sons. But they were defending the Enduring Vigil. He was able to punch through. Essentially, the way I designed these missions was the Dark Angels' primary objective was to get across the board, and once they did that, it kind of like pushed back the traitor forces, and they were trying to push their way to the bridge. The traitor forces were trying to hold them for long enough, and if they did, then the ship would crash down onto the moon, and there'd be a 40k battle there for the
with the
relay
Rock,
station.
not the Rock.
Yeah, and I guess I can tell you now
about the Rock.
The Rock was just. So what he's referencing is I brought a piece of terrain that was like a rock, like a gray rock, to the boarding action games, and he didn't know about the possibility of the ship crashing, but he saw me pull this rock out, and he was like, "Wait, Ryan, what the fuck is that for? We're fighting on a ship." And I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." So it's
and now
been
he
a
threatens
meme.
me with the Rock.
Yeah. Which, why would a real Dark Angel be threatened by the Rock? I don't know.
Not the Rock, just a Rock. It's different.
True. But yeah, so if the ship had crashed, if you'd been held long enough, and both of those flyers were destroyed in this mission, your guys would have taken more damage at the onset of the 40k battle. So there's stuff like that was cooked into this that we never encountered because you were able to break through. But yeah, you would have taken damage. Your boarding action list would have been the start of your 40k list, and then you'd have built off of that, and they would have come in as reinforcements.
Oh shit!
But cool. you saved one of the shuttles, so you wouldn't have taken as much damage. But yeah, so then they went to the gun deck, where Jordan was contemplating killing these guardsmen because he assumed they were traitors. But the Chaos Forces killed them first. Yeah, the Chaos Forces ran in, killed them. This was a weapon magazine. Chaos Forces were trying to blow up the ammo that was represented by those crates. If I remember correctly, you were able to get a shortcut triggered with a servo skull into some work fence.
Yeah.
And push the mission forward.
Because I had to roll a 6 to get it to work, and I rolled a 6 the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, because the servo skull got shot.
Yeah.
The servo skull got shot by Sean and taken out. So his commander could do it, but it was only on a 6, whereas the servo skull, I think, was a 4 up.
Yeah.
But he rolled it first time, first go. Boom. Which took him to the bridge. Which was the final mission, obviously. They were trying to rescue I don't know how well you can see it, but the Dark Angel's lieutenant that was strapped into, all the computers getting messed with by sorcerers and the fallen commander. This was a very, very close battle. Everyone on the traitor side, I think there's one Terminator who survived. On the traitor side.
One Terminator survived, and he ran away at the end, and then I had 2 heavy intercessors left at the end of it.
Yeah, which you can see in the bottom right picture, the 2 heavy intercessors carrying Lieutenant Armonial out to the shuttle that you saved, and escaping the Enduring Vigil before its vigil finally ended.
Now, what would have happened if I hadn't saved that shuttle?
Ceased to endure.
So the shuttles were specifically as written for if the ship crashed. The more shuttles you saved, the better modifiers you'd have to your mortal wounds your guys would take. There being 1 shuttle left and being such a close game, just narratively on the fly, made sense to be oh yeah, you were able to escape with that shuttle before it the orbit decayed too much.
Right.
So if he had blown up both the shuttles and you'd still won this mission, you still would have gotten out. A Thunderhawk would have come in or something. But
hell yeah,
it was improv.
Improv. Hell yeah.
I don't know why snapping is improv to me, but
me neither.
Jazz. It's all jazz, baby.
You like jazz?
Yeah,
I like jazz.
Ryan does not.
So
like jazz.
I used to be in a jazz band, so.
The Ryan
you
lore.
You used to be in a jazz band?
Yeah, I played timbales, congas, and bongos. I was auxiliary percussion.
We're unlocking new Ryan lore right now.
Oh my god, the Ryan lore. I've known him for years and I didn't know this. Are you crazy?
Anyway, enough about Ryan lore. So the boarding action thing was kind of and I thought it'd be a fun introduction to the campaign. It didn't really none of the stuff that happened in this affected the crusade elements of the campaign or the overall campaign map, which we can switch to now. Perhaps.
Sorry, I'm reading chat. Let's address some things in chat first. First.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Could Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson beat most Primarchs? I don't know.
I don't think so.
He got small now, right? He stopped taking steroids.
He stopped taking steroids. He got small. Also, I've heard that in every movie, by contract, he makes it so that he can't lose. Yep. He has to be the winner, which means that he probably couldn't hold himself.
He does not have to be the winner. He just can't lose.
He can't lose.
But I know one movie where he does lose.
What movie?
Hit classic movie starring Carl Urban, Doom.
True.
That.
Well,
think,
ever since
right?
he's been no, because he was he lost, but he was like the main villain. He got to still be like part of the lead. He didn't just like he wasn't a chump. He didn't die to like a trap or anything.
Right, but he gets defeated in the end, or does Carl Urban?
I think maybe Doom predates his can't lose contract.
You think he like
that was when he was
Doom
small enough?
I think he lost in Doom and then was salty about it, and then like from then on had the contract.
The Doom movie has always eaten at him and kept him up at night.
Exactly. That started his villain arc. Yeah, no, so I don't think he could beat a Primarch for the simple fact that if he has to protect himself with a contract, he couldn't take on a transhuman super demigod.
I assume he would be like Astartes for this fight.
No, he'd just be his normal human self.
He'd just be normal Rock Johnson.
Yeah, he'd just be his normal self. Yeah.
All right, next. We're going to go top to bottom here.
Okay.
Do you like Necron, Snids, or Chaos more? Chaos. Ryan?
Chaos.
Elliot? Yeah, it's going to be a harder one for you.
I play all three of these.
I know.
God, that's really difficult for me. I'll say Necrons. They were my first love.
Okay. Cool. Well, there you go. All right. Now we can move on.
Yeah, so this is the map I made for a key location on the planet Scartha. Scartha itself like had some sort of cataclysm in its past, like its environment got kind of ravaged by industry. So it's mostly like desert and savanna, but they're trying to fix that. The biologists are with some farming and hydroponics, but this plateau is where the capital hive is. It's the most intact hive on the planet, where the royal family lives, and so all the forces are touching down here because something I forgot to mention. Once the Dark Angels saved Lieutenant Armonial, he informed them that somewhere on this plateau is a old Dreadwing vault, which if people don't know what Dreadwing is, because there might be people who don't.
I don't.
It was a special section of the Dark Angels, part of their like wing structure.
The Hexagrammaton.
Hexagrammaton, yeah. They were known for like their very destructive and like radioactive weapons.
They were the Dark Angels War Crimes Division.
Yeah. So they would deal with a lot of dangerous stuff.
Like, most Space Marine chapters like already do a lot of war crimes. The Dark Angels had a whole division of Space Marines specifically dedicated to like the most heinous war crimes.
Yeah. It was like where all their destroyer units were, right?
Yeah.
Because like back during the Horus Heresy Crusade, all Space Marine chapters
they had
like
all the most fucked up weapons.
Yeah. So Armonial was like, yeah, I learned that there might be a vault here. I traced it to this planet, and I came here to investigate, and the Fallen were here already, searching for it, and they captured me and then tried to find out what I knew. And then while all that's happening, stinky, sneaky little Xenos slipped into the plateau during the comms blackout and set themselves up in the Manufactorum. And it was a alliance of Tau and Votan, who
I
already said this in one of my blurbs. They were kind of hired to do it by a mysterious Eldar client, which I don't think the other players knew until recently. But you got intel now that there was some sort of Eldar contact there.
Fucking knife ears.
Who knows what that's about? So yeah, they
both of you so rude, saying rude things, rude dudes. Listen, I'm just here for mining and materials. That's all I'm here for.
And maybe the vault.
So
yeah, the way this campaign works is where their icons are is like the territory they control, and they all start out with one stronghold, which gives them extra points on these things that I call tracks, that are different sort of investigations or like broad goals that they're trying to achieve. And there's 4 main tracks. First one is just military dominance, because it's So Warhammer 40,000 in the grimdark future, there's only war. There's also a few other things. There's also investigating the location of the prince of the governor of this planet who knows how to get into the vault, where the vault is, because his family was tasked with protecting it and hiding it by some dark angel a long time ago during the Great Crusade. And there's also the track for finding the vault. And then the last one is investigating the sort of just general unrest and like turmoil that Scarth has been experiencing. So this map is color coded for different areas. For instance, the purple on the Royal Palace, controlling those territories gets the people points on the track for the Prince location. The red is finding the vault. Yellow and green are investigating the unrest. And then the blue for High Vakatin, you can either look into the Prince or look into the vault, I believe. And then the Militarum base obviously gives you military points. You also get military points for just winning battles. So that's why that is such a small territory. And essentially, as people progress through these tracks and gain points over the rounds that we do, they get to draw cards. I'll put it in air quotes because I'm distributing them digitally, so they're not printed out, but they are done up like cards. I don't think we have a graphic of one handy, but so yeah, the commanders make 2 moves every turn. One can be anywhere, one can be adjacent to their territory, and then they fight battles based off of it. I have to do a little bit of finagling to try to get equal battles for everybody, so no one gets too far ahead in the crusade. But it's not too hard to like come up with like you could just see in the last picture like recon combats and things. So these are some of the pictures of our opening battles. The Death Guard attacked the combined forces of the Grey Knights and the Dark Angels in a recon strike, trying to stop them from scouting the Hive City. The big battle in the first round was the Thousand Suns versus the Votan at a mining complex, both of them searching for artifacts and relics and lore. I believe Chaos won both of these battles, if I remember correctly.
Chaos? No. Chaos won our battle. Votan wiped the floor with Thousand Suns.
Oh, that's right.
I wiped the floor with Thousand Suns and took all of the relics for myself.
It was rough.
It's a little rude to put it that way, but that is what happened.
Well, maybe they should stay away from the mining complex when the dwarves are there. How about that? How about that, Ryan?
There was also like a Dark Eldar raid of some sort that we don't have pictures of because of data corruption. But the Tau got attacked by some Dark Eldar, and they were able to pull it out. It was a little touch and go for them, but they were able to succeed and win. And so that was like map phase 1. And the way I have it structured is there's like 2 map phases, and then what I call a flashpoint, which the flashpoint is what you guys saw on stream last Monday. But this is the second phase of the second map phase before the first flashpoint. You can see the Votan expanded out into the mining region. Chaos expanded a little bit. The Imperium is just kind of like expanding unchecked in the east. And Yeti Bowman says the Dark Eldar were able to pull it out, you say? No, the Tau actually pulled it out on this one.
Ooh.
But anyway, so yeah, the Dark Angels struck back into the Royal Hinterlands, trying to stop Chaos from advancing. Because like a lot of the moves in this phase didn't result in battles, we kind of opened up opportunities for kill team special operations or small 40k battle operations, which you can see at these locations outside of the grid. Those are just kind of like little plot nuggets that I left for myself to use if needed, and we were able to use them.
I love plot nuggets.
They're very good when dipped in the right lore sauce. I don't know, there's something there. We didn't really do this in the first phase, but from the second phase onward, I'm having people, if they're deploying like their main commander, to say like where they're deploying them, and that's just like somebody from their roster who's narratively the overall commander of their forces. not necessarily always their warlord in battles, but they can only play that unit card at battles where they're sent. So you can see Captain Mordrain and Kythanos the Bound, who I think they were both in the Flashpoint also, right?
Yeah.
Rebecca says, "Did Ryan say chaos?" I would never say chaos. Why would I ever say chaos?
Chaos. Ryan said chaos. I said chaos. Elliot said Necrons.
Yeah. I think we I just it clicked what they were referring to. Yeah, chaos definitely. So yeah, that was the big battle in the second phase. I think we have pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a Choppa eye in the middle top picture, I promise. But
it is.
Yeah, Jordan, do you want to talk about how this battle went? Because I actually wasn't present for this one.
Sure. I guess, it wasn't pretty, but we kind of just expanded out really quickly. I set it up so there were basically little rooms that each had an objective in it. And so Sean had basically the entire map except that little semicircle that you can see that I deployed in as his deployment zone. But he was smart about it and didn't deploy right in my face because I was able to choose who went first. So of course I went first, and I was able to pull off some pretty key charges almost immediately. So the Inner Circle Companions killed 5 units this game.
Oh my god.
They were just going on a tear up that entire left side of the battlefield over there. Killed a bunch of characters, killed that Demon Prince. I don't remember if they're the ones that ended up killing the Forge Fiend. It might have been the Deathwing Knights. But I ended up, after this battle, running another 5-pack of Deathwing Knights in the following battle, just because I like them so much. Yeah, it was fun.
They're tough.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool way to kind of simulate, I'm coming in on the attack, and he's already prepared, sitting there, waiting for me.
Yeah, but tragically, the Thousand Suns lost again. But they'll have their day in the sun soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
The
they're
Spec Ops battle
army.
we don't have pictures of, but Elliot fought that against Grey Knights.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, we had to do that on Tabletop Simulator just for scheduling reasons, but we made it work. So that's why we don't have any pictures of it. It would have just been, kind of janky looking. But it was a good fight. It was Grey Knights versus my Votan. I went with more of a scouting party, just because it kind of matches the lore of my army to have a little bit more of the Hernkin representation. Ended up biting me a little bit just because they're a little bit better at spreading out across the board, being smaller, faster units, but there was only one objective to hold. So once Ashton got his bit tougher, beefier, high save Grey Knight Terminators on there, I couldn't really get them off of the point. Managed to deal some pretty solid damage though. Managed to kill his Dreadnought Knight guy in Overwatch with a bunch of bikey boys, so that was fun. It was a close game, but it was just I was kind of on the back foot. I also royally screwed up my deep strike with my Einhir Hearthguard, which also kind of put them out of position for half the game, and so I wasn't able to really get their firepower where it needed to be. So that definitely hurt me pretty bad too. So it was kind of a twofold loss there. So sadly, we were fighting over the refinery, I believe. Which would have been nice to have.
Narratively, what you guys were doing there, if you remember the mission brief, was there were strange signals coming out of the refinery, and then also out of the Watch Post Alpha up in the mountains. And so the forces that went there were trying to investigate these strange signals that were communicating with each other and trying to backtrack them to their source. I mean, unfortunately, just IRL scheduling weren't able to have the spec op in Watchpost Alpha played out, so we had to roll for it. But I'm glad that you're able to do the one in the refineries. So yeah, I'll be giving them. I haven't actually told them the results of that just yet, so I'll be writing that up and sending it out to them. And I'll post, like, I'll try to type up some not too long-winded battle reports with lore for what's happening and post it in the Discord if y'all are interested.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
So after those battles ended, all the forces detected that the shields that had been up this entire time around Hive Akaton had gone down, and a distress beacon was sent out. And because on the military dominance track at this point, Imperium was in the lead, they were going to be the first people to get there and be the defender, and then Chaos was in second place on military dominance track, and so they were the second player. So like these flashpoints, the way I'm doing them is the players are determined essentially based on progress on these various tracks, and the different tracks will matter. Like obviously well, actually I don't want to say too much. I almost revealed some secrets.
Give us data.
You almost got secrets.
Data. Ryan, give us data. We won't hear. I'll take my headphones out, and then I won't be able to hear.
I'll cover my ears.
I will say, like,
I can't hear you.
No, cover my ears.
I wrote a lot of secrets into this narrative campaign. I don't know if I do another one, if I'll make it so like investigative and like sneaky, because
you're doing like a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes that you can't tell us about, so we can't help.
Yeah, I can't get help on it. I can't like play test some things as thoroughly as I probably want to. And so I think if I do another narrative, it's gonna be a little more just like, we're gonna fucking fight, and here's the stage, and here's what's happening. A little more smooth brain. I wrinkled my brain a little too much on this one, I think. But anyway,
I will say, although you have wrinkled a little too much, I do appreciate the wrinkling, and it is fun and cool so far. So thank you for all the hard work.
Are having fun. It didn't help that I was like really sick for like the first month that this thing was going on, and I'm still like recovering. I am going to the doctor.
Should have known. We should have known post Dragon Con that something like that would happen.
Yeah, I should have thought of Concrud, but say its name and it shall appear. I am going to the doctor tomorrow to see if they can give me that those good drugs to knock it out.
But anyway,
all this brought us to the clash at Hive Akaton, one of the bigger hobby projects also that I've been working on over the past several months.
Which is what we streamed on Monday, so if you want to see all the hard work Ryan put into it, go watch that.
Yeah.
Try to get some good shots of the whole cityscape.
I made a lot of terrain. I made an entire terrain board for a city. I wanted for once there to be a 40k battle in a city that wasn't already reduced to rubble. So I got some files for like these pretty cool buildings. I'll post links to the creators for the 3D printed files that I used in this, because they're really good. All the, what's the word I'm trying to say? Ground tiles, like the streets. I made all those by hand out of like chipboard, foam core. It was mainly just chipboard, foam core, and polystyrene. Which was an interesting project. Laying it out, trying to like get everything so it was kind of a balanced 40k table was an interesting challenge. But yeah, I want to put a little more work into it, give it a little more like polish, but I like how it came out, and it stood up to two boys ramming their miniatures across it.
I would literally never do that.
It's sturdy. But yeah, so Chaos forces are assaulting the Capitol buildings in Hive Akaton, and they were assisted by some Fallen. It was 1,000 Suns, and I think Sean just posted a link to the buildings.
There you go.
Yeah.
there's a little bit of guard forces helping the Dark Angels, and they were just trying to push through the each other's lines and drive each other from the city. But there was something weird happening, and it was funny how the rolls for like psychic tests and battle shock played heavily into it, just inadvertently, because enslavers showed up.
I don't have any pictures of the Ball Daddies, unfortunately.
My God.
I did get one picture of them when they were off to the side, but it was just the backs of their heads because I like looked over and realized that the backs of their little alien heads looked exactly like skulls staring at me, and I was like, "What the hell?" But yeah, we need to see if we can get some shots of those. They were really well done. You 3D printed
they were
those,
cool
or
models. I 3D printed those.
Or
I
did you-
3D printed them on like an Ender 3 something Pro, like not
Okay.
a really new 3D printer, and FDM. So like, if you get close, you can see the lines, but they came out pretty good.
Yeah, they look really nice.
They came out a little bigger than I expected. When I printed them, I did a test print of like the body, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's not too big." And then I put the tentacles on, and all of a sudden they were like gigantic. But they looked really menacing. I'll post some pictures of them after this stream in Hobby Central on our Discord. But I used some old rules, I want to say from like 3rd or 4th edition, that apparently they released in a White Dwarf for enslavers as the basis for how their army would function. I apologize, I got a cough drop in my mouth, but oh, there you go.
There we go. Nice.
Essentially, the way those rules worked was you had like a pool of dice for every enslaver, and you could assign them to units that you controlled or try to take over new units. And I had to tweak it a little bit because like leadership worked different back then. So I adapted those rules, and then I used what's the name of it? Elliot might be able to help me on this. The neurophage. That's like the Tyranid unit that like eats psychers.
Psychophage.
I kind of used him. Psychophage. Yeah, that's right. I used him as a little bit of a baseline for like some of the stats. I wanted them to be kind of scary, so I gave them a lot of attacks because they have so many tentacles in melee, but they're not terribly powerful unless you're a psyker. And then I gave them a psychic lance ability, which I can post their unit card because I have a unit card done up for them. We can get your feedback on how you think they look. I thought they were going to be a little tougher.
It didn't help that I brought a bunch of units that were specifically anti-monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that like where the secret stuff came to bite me in the ass a little bit, because I misgauged some things and it kind of threw the game against Sean, unfortunately. Combined with the anti-monster stuff and also the fact that Jordan's army was much more melee, so it was advancing a lot further. And Sean's entire army is like Psyker. I didn't give their guns anti-Psyker. I thought that would be a little too much. But when I first came up with the idea for the enslavers, there were no Thousand Sons in the narrative at that point, so or Grey Knights either, in case Ashen is worried about enslavers versus Grey Knights. But I will tell Ashen that the enslavers have the demon keyword, so I think Grey Knights interact with that now. I don't really know, but anyway,
I don't know if they do. I think there might be like one stratagem or something somewhere that like is anti-chaos or anti-demon or something.
That's like their whole thing, though. Anyway,
not allowed to have fluff in 10th edition.
Apparently. Well, I'm gonna stuff us full of fluff in this narrative campaign. But yeah, so this would have been something that would have been good to playtest. In hindsight, for this mission, their power, I think the Enslaver's power level is fine. You guys just got to them a lot faster than I thought you would. And so they were sandwiched between two armies, and I should have brought them out in 2 waves at each of your command phases, so each person would have like parity and like getting to punch at them.
Yeah.
or reduce the amount of points they were worth. This would have been something that would have been good to playtest. I playtested some of the city fight rules that I wrote for this because I have a whole document for city fight using these buildings, and that was very helpful. But I had to do that in secret. Essentially, the Dark Eldar battle against Tau, Zach had a few of these buildings on the board, and he helped me think through some of the trickier problems.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's still something I want to refine, so I'll post these documents on the Discord because I'd love to get feedback. But yeah, it was fun making this board. It was fun making the Enslavers. I wish I'd had someone I could playtest it with more, but alas, lessons learned. If you're doing weird, wonky rules, test them out. Hey, look, Sean's on stream. Sean's with us right now. You can see him right there.
Look at that.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah, this was when I was trying to get a shot of all the different city pieces. The just kind of swooping around. The city looked really nice. I'm excited to play on it. All the city fight rules seem like they're a lot of fun. And they seem to work pretty well. I like the idea. Yeah, I like that they kind of function like vehicles where you have to, actually like get in them and like mount up in the windows and stuff. Like it's like vehicle rules. I think that's really cool. And honestly, for not playtesting the Enslavers, you got pretty close. You know what I mean? Like realistically, if you had like either lowered the points that they were worth or make them not worth points, or depending, or staggered their release, or maybe both, you were very close on.
I don't have points values for them at the moment. I didn't bother trying to calculate points for them because
no, the victory points.
They were more of a the victory points. Yeah.
How much they were worth to kill. Like lower that a little bit, or stagger their launch, and I think that would have been a much better balance.
I think if you had
the
like
game
4 and then 1 popped up in my command phase, and then Sean's command phase, and then my command phase, and then Sean's command phase.
Yeah.
I could have made another one. I just didn't think I would need it.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
beyond
I would
that,
have done it. Sorry, Elliot, go ahead.
I was just going to say, beyond that, I mean, those are realistically, from a game design perspective, pretty small adjustments to make. For a non-playtested, just first bat at trying to add in a strange third-party dilemma, kind of harkening back to when Necrons would just kind of pop out of the ground because they weren't their own faction; they were just like a stage hazard.
Oh, yeah.
I think you did a great job. Honestly, I think it's really cool.
You.
And them showing up in the models, that whole big reveal was really cool. So
this shot is kind of funny in that like you just have the Ball Daddy in the middle of the screen, and then you look everywhere, and he's just surrounded by Dark Angels.
Yeah.
Vindicator, Dreadnought.
There's a Vindicator like gaining momentum on the downhill to shovel them. He's just hanging out there like, huh? Yeah.
And the Centurions did something this game.
Yeah,
they didn't just die like idiots.
But yeah, I would have run it a little differently. I just would have printed a 4th one, had 2 come out, and like kind of each of your command phases. But oh well. Sorry, Sean. I think he took the brunt of it. But it's just one battle amidst the entire narrative. There's plenty of time to recover from my mistakes. But yeah, I made a bunch of civilians for this battle, also for the Enslavers to take control of.
Yeah,
those are Stargrave and Frostgrave models.
Yeah, I love the civilians.
So I mentioned on stream that when I first made this sign guy, I gave him a goofier.
Oh yeah, what was the sign?
So originally his sign said Adeptus Astartes ? More like Ineptus Asphartes.
Why didn't you keep that? What's wrong with you? Oh my god.
It was
Holy
a little
shit.
I thought it would take away from the mood of the game, and it was a little too goofy. But it technically it still says that, like, that paint is under there, under the layers.
The Society of Hidden Paint.
I might make another banner guy who has that for future use.
You have to
whenever we need civilians again.
Yeah, you have to.
You should make that banner in real life and take it to the Grand Narrative.
I am playing Chaos, so
that's correct.
Although
yeah.
I mean, Chaos Marines are still Adeptus Astartes, kind of. So
who cares? Know. They're not Adeptus Astartes. They're just Heretic Astartes. It's different.
Heretic Astartes. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I when I painted him, it was like late at night. He was like one of the last things I painted on one of the nights I was working, and so I was like a little bit delirious, and so I was like, oh, this will be good. And in the light of morning, I was like, that's a little goofy. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun making these like civilians. They have a lot of character to them. I'll post images of them as well, like lined up, so you can see them better. But yeah, that was that battle. Dark Angels, because I, through the entire game in Imperium's favor, were able to win the day.
As it should be. They're the heroes, right? They're the good guys?
They have plot armor or something.
They have plot armor, right? Yeah. I mean, like, I always approach this, especially like the grand narrative and any kind of narrative thing. I just think of it as like
if I die, I die.
Yeah, if I die, I die. Like even in the, especially for the grand narrative, I'll just like make up my own objectives for the fight, and like I'll try and get the stuff done. But like in my head, I'll be like, well, my whole Prismvard army's whole thing is that they're like a Hernkin pioneer group, so they're gonna fall back. They're gonna be looking for relics and stuff. They're gonna be looking. They're a scouting, expedition. So I always try and approach games like narratively, RP wise, from that perspective. It's why, like, against Ashen, I could have just thrown literally everything in a pile and like sacrificed all of my units to try and win against him at the refinery complex. But my guys wouldn't do that because they're just there to scout. So then they just, they held back, and tried to like maneuver around. I don't know. I just, even if things get a little skewed in one person's favor of another, I think that's fine from time to time if it serves a narrative purpose.
At the grand narrative, I'm taking Brood Brothers. I'm expecting to not win a single game. Brood Brothers.
I'm only going to run Dread Talons.
Brood Brothers might be like the worst attachment in the game.
I'm planning on running the Votan percussion prospect detachment, where it doesn't work on monsters, but you get to slow people down if you hit them twice thing, just because that narratively makes the most sense for my army. But it's really not the best. Like, if I really wanted to win, I'd be running,
the fact that you call it percussion is very funny.
It's percussive. What is it?
No, persecution.
Is it persecution? Oh my god. I don't even know the name of it. It sucks so much. But yeah, like that's what I'll be running, just because narratively it makes the most sense for the Prismvard Mining League, because they're a Hernkin expeditionary force.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the Hernkin one.
Narrative is like less competitive and serious, but like as someone like designing this stuff, I still want it to be balanced.
Yeah, of course.
I think one of the things, like I've done a lot of DMing. I've designed a lot of custom stuff for like Dungeons and Dragons, and thinking about this scenario, I think I was kind of thinking about it like that. And there's other considerations you have to think about with like 40K, with like the turn cycle and everything. And also like, in D&D, you can kind of like fudge things behind the screen if you need to. Can't really do that in 40K that easily.
Yeah.
So it's like once the ship is sailing, it's gonna go on the course it's on, and so it's hard to like.
And I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah. So this experience has given me more insight into like how to build stuff for 40K as a game designer, which hopefully will make future things I do, even within this own narrative, a little more balanced, a little more parity, so it's not a big swing in points or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what's
we're
going on in the future? How do we proceed from here?
So from here, essentially the Imperials are going to have control of Hive Akaton on the map. It can be taken away from them by future attacks, but we'll go into another map phase. At this point, I'll just go ahead and say like your forces are going to be motivated to find the prince. You're going to get some more information about that. You have some information that some of you might be piecing things together based on what you already know about the prince and what you've learned in this last battle. Might give you some insights. But yeah, the next phase is essentially looking for the prince, and the next flashpoint will kind of focus on that investigation.
The prince was
we'll
actually an enslaver the whole time?
I don't know. I do know, actually.
So does Games Workshop.
I think
that's what the Grand Narrative's about.
I swear to God. But see, this time, if it is, I have proof that I was already planning it. It already happened. Ha ha ha. I don't think Enslavers are going to be a part of it, given that it's with. I don't know. It's the Webway, War in Heaven. Like at the end of the War in Heaven, the Enslavers are with the people, the things that kind of disrupted it and like made it kind of die out. So who knows? Who knows? Eldar and Enslavers have lore together, so we'll see. I forgot what I was saying.
When's the next Flashpoint?
Oh, that's what. I think it's November 3rd.
Whatever
it was originally
Monday to that is probably.
November 3rd. It was going to be in October, but we can't do that because there's no orcs in this narrative, and it's Orktober, baby.
October. Yeah, it's the third would be the last stream before.
It's the last stream before the Grand Narrative.
Yeah.
And then no stream on the 10th, right? Because we're going to be dead zombies.
Correct. Yeah, we're going to be dead.
Yeah.
There's also not going to be a stream on the 13th of this month because I have to go to Monday Night Football. So
Monday Night Football.
I'm glad you both just did that at the same time.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, we have 2 more flashpoints before this resolves, and you'll just have to see what happens.
Are we gonna start posting updates on the little side battles? Movements?
Yeah. I'll start posting. We started out doing it kind of internally before the first flashpoint because that was like the first big streamable thing we could do. So I will start posting the updates to the turns and like give like little lore blurbs for what's going on, so you guys can keep track of it and you can root for your.
I'll make a channel in the Discord specifically for this.
Okay. Yeah. And you can follow along and see who's going to be in the next flashpoint, and learn all the secrets with them.
Did you say secrets?
Secrets. Yeah. You've gotten some secrets already, but
what everyone brought to this narrative. What you mean? What you mean by that?
Like what armies everyone has, or like our full rosters.
My roster is.
We've got Tau and Votan working together in the north. We've got Grey Knights and what is your Death Knights? Deathwing?
Dark Angels?
Dark Angels. Green boys off to the east, and then it's Death Guard and Thousand Suns to the west.
Here you go. Here's mine.
Death Guard, Thousand Suns.
I'm keeping track of it all in Administratum.
With a little bit of Fallen involved and some Word Bearers. As a treat.
As a treat.
And technically, the Dark Eldar, the Deldar doing stuff?
Some Deldar showed up as opportunistic poke boys.
Like you do.
The Dark Eldar are kind of like my... If someone needs to fight a battle and like no one else is available, then Dark Eldar show up. Because it's, it makes sense. They do that. They
like
pop
lists
out
and rosters. Yeah, we can put together lists and rosters and stuff. Because we each have a big old campaign list. But yeah, we can put all that together.
Yeah, and I can post all the rules that I'm currently running. The city fight rules. I have like lists of battle traits and stuff for this campaign. A lot of it is like pulled from existing Crusade stuff. We're kind of using a Crusade system with a few things taken away. Like a trimmed down Crusade system for the factions, because like some of the Crusade mechanics, like particularly for like Tau, involve you like taking star systems over, which doesn't really fit in the scope of this narrative. So we had to finagle some stuff. I think in the future I'd probably do things a little differently, but we can talk more about that like at the end of the narrative, I guess, like post-mortem takeaways.
Yeah.
Retrospective, yeah. But yeah, mainly I just hope people are having fun. It's a little 40K with a little more seasoning, a little more sauce and spice, and let me try out a few things I've wanted to try that don't exist in 40K, like City Fight.
Can't wait to play the rest of it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll probably call it a day there. Make sure you guys come hang out with us on Monday, where we're kicking off Orktober. Trying out the new incursion rules that came out with the new mission deck. Sean's going to be rocking the orcs for the first time. And Ryan, you're going to be playing Drukari?
Drukari.
Hell yeah. So make sure you hang out with us there and for the rest of Orktober.
I'll be hanging out in the Discord if anyone wants to have essentially like a little watch party for the stream. I'll be hanging out in the Discord during that time, watching the stream. If y'all are there too.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and have a good night.
See ya.